Hey kids, we're back. You're watching Guitar Quackery live, and I'm about to send a link to this live stream to my customer. Copy and paste. So Guitar Quackery live is, hold on, let me send the link. Copy and paste. All right. That's it. Okay. Guitar Quackery live is the one and only live streaming guitar repair channel. And the battery is low. Okay. Let's hope it'll survive. Wait, I have a trackpad as well. Okay. It'll work. Okay, so I used this 3D scanner to scan the guitar. The guitar is still on the workbench. And I rendered the 3D scan, and now we are going to analyze it. So it's post re-humidification 3D scan analysis. Whew. Let's have a look at the guitar. This is it. So it's still got all these markers on, so let's clean up. Yeah, okay. I made these. I made them. They're stickers. I just stuck them back to back. So here's my little container where I keep them. Here they are. So this is a unique service, still experimental. Everything I do here is experimental, by the way. When the guitar came to me, when it was dropped off, it was dry. It had a collapsed soundboard. Parts of the soundboard were collapsed. And it's also got some cracks, which we are not going to fix in this video for sure. But it's a Wild guitar, you see? Wild. The first ever Wild acoustic model made. Actually, not the first model made, the first ever made. This is it on the workbench today. So this is the guitar. It's got a weird saddle, and I can't really see what is going on here. Is my hair good? That's my headphone thing. Okay. So let me show you the saddle. It's really thick, and I really don't like the way it's shaped, to be honest with you. And I wonder if this causes any kind of sitar buzzing issues or maybe intonation issues. I don't know. That's something I'm going to look at, and I might actually pull it out and do a high-resolution 3D scan of it, because I really can't see anything because it's shiny. I don't see the shape of it right now. So I might do a 3D scan of that. Now that one, if I do a 3D scan of that, it's just going to be a courtesy scan for the customer. Yeah, it's a great looking guitar, right? It's Wild, and it's a Wild guitar. So there's a little fracture here. It looks like you can see from the reflection, it goes right around the wood grain, right? So, and here there's a little fracture. So it's split open from the lack of humidity. And we did re-humidify the guitar. So why can't I focus on this? So this is interesting. because I remember this fracture was open when I first looked at it, and now I can see that it's like this. Okay, so it's closed. So we can still see the little hump in the finish, but yeah, it's closed. And that doesn't surprise me because we did rehumidify the guitar. But now we are going to look at the 3D scan. So we're going to look at two 3D scans, like Dr. Aficionados in the house. Hello to you. So two separate 3D scans that I made at two separate times. One before the rehumidification service and one just today. So why don't we look at that? So here we can see this is a 3D scan, right? And the one we are looking at right now is the guitar as it was when it was dry. So let's move it over here. Okay, let me reset the view. And here I'm going to turn on this one. So this is now a different scan that you're looking at. And they're one on top of the other. You see, I can turn off the top scan and turn it back on. Those are two different scans. So remember, the one without the headstock is the new one, and this one with the headstock is the old one. So I want to just zoom in on the soundboard a little bit and place it over here. Yeah, just like that. Maybe turn it this way. Okay, that's good. All right. So now let's look at the color scheme. So I'm just going to add a little blue here, maybe like this. And here let's add some red. So red is highlighting the high spots of the soundboard. And let's put some more blue and green, red. You can see that. So you can see how the soundboard was collapsed in front of the bridge, and there's a hump behind the bridge. Yeah, it's going to always have a hump because of the string pull, but this is basically a collapsed soundboard, and we can see this here. That's the bubble, right? So now let's turn on, well, actually let me add some red, and let's adjust this level. Okay, so this, I just call it the gray level. This basically is lowering a flat plane onto the guitar. So the neck is at an angle, so don't pay attention to that. It's a different type of acoustic guitar. The neck is at an angle like on a Les Paul. And now we are going to highlight the high spots. So here we have some high spots right there on the side, here, and then here, and here. And here we have a low spot as well as here, right? So if we add some red just to kind of highlight it, this is what we have. I can adjust the blue or the green. It's not really necessary, needed, but this is it. Okay, so now let's turn on the scan from today. Okay, this is this one, and I am going to now highlight that one, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to adjust the levels, maybe add some green over there. Okay. So you see we have a different situation altogether. So now if we add this gray level, you can see how we have a different spread of that. Okay, so we no longer see a collapsed soundboard like we were seeing on this scan here, where we have, that's the previous scan before the humidification, where we have this collapsed area right here. Instead, we see this. Okay. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory. So now the soundboard is raised in space. Okay. Yep. Okay. So I can do more 3D analysis with these scans. I can use a different software called Fusion. And I can also take some measurements, and I can kind of predict the outcome of the service. Because we'll be doing a level crown and polish and a full setup of this. Now, for the level crown and polish, I actually have another scan right here. So let me turn this one off, and turn this one off, and turn this one on. So this one, we already looked at this one in one of the previous live streams, where we were adjusting these levels, and we were looking at the fingerboard. Okay. And we see that right here we have this low area. Now I'm not going to go over everything again, because I did do this in the second live stream on this playlist. But I am going to look at these scans a little closer before I do any work on the fingerboard, and just to kind of predict the outcome of the service that I'm doing on the guitar. That's that. So I don't think that I will be live streaming the rest of the services on this guitar, because I just kind of am doing this for the 3D scans. But it's going to get a level crown and polish, maybe a new saddle or something about the saddle. So if I do any kind of work on that saddle, maybe I'll be streaming that, and then a full setup, and that's it. So there you have it. So, oh, I see Grandpa Joe is in the house as well. He says greetings and hello to you as well. Yeah, so friends, this is it for today. I am going to continue working on this guitar, and I got some other guitars to work on. But I don't think I'll be doing any more live streams tonight. Okay, be well, bye-bye.